Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reeder with Future Pastimes. I'm a board game designer and I work on a lot of Dune-themed games, among other things, like the expansions for the classic Dune board game, the 2019 edition, Dune Conquest, and Arrakis Dawn of the Fremen, among others. And I've been talking with people about the Dune movies, and in the discussions, I've been thinking a lot about how the Mentats have been depicted in the first film. And I feel like they've really been given a short shrift. I think a lot of people who are not super familiar with Dune will come away thinking that Mentats are basically accountants, and that's really it. In fact, the word Mentats not even used in the first movie. You do get a sense that, Thufir and Piter are not normal people because they do the whole roll back their eyes while they're calculating. But again, the whole idea of a mentat is that they're a human computer. And while, yes, math, like a calculator, is something that a computer can be used for, it's really supposed to be a lot more than that. And I think the fact that, Thufir, for example, is a master of assassins, that doesn't come across at all in the movie. So the first time we really see Thufir in action, he is calculating how much it cost the Emperor to send a ship with the Herald of Change over, instead of just, faxing that document to Caladan and saying, "You're the fief ruler, go." So it was very expensive, but that's really all, Thufir did. The next time we see Thufir, he's overseeing the transition, but that is something you could have an accountant do as well. We see him reacting to the assassination attempt on Paul with the Hunter-Seeker, but he resigns or tries to resign. We just don't get any real machinations out of Thufir, and then right after that we see him calculating how many Solaris the Harkonnen were earning from their spice halls when they were running things, and then they were out looking at the loading docks where he was explaining I had to fill up all of those containers every month. And then that's it. I don't ever see him again. And Piter, first time we see him, he's calculating something, but we don't really know what. And then, then the next time we really see him, he's more of a lackey. He's not really part of the plotting with the Baron. So it seems really like the Baron is holding all the cards. He's doing all of the deep thinking and the scheming to overthrow House Atreides, and it seems like Piter's really not involved in that at all. Then we see Piter on Seleucus Secundus, again doing calculations about how many legions of Sardaukar they need, and then he kind of misspeaks when he's talking to the Sardaukar captain and kind of insults him, which is not a very mentat-y sort of thing to do. So I found that to be out of character for Piter and didn't really appreciate it. And then, Piter brings Dr. Yueh before the Baron. Doesn't even get to kill him. And it's just really kind of a non-role. I was pretty disappointed. They cut out the whole sequence from the book where Shout-Out Mapes, after she is saved by Paul, lets him know that the Fremen know that there's a traitor in the inner circle of House Atreides, and they dropped that completely, so nobody knew. But that was a big deal in the book. There's a number of characters discussing it, and Thufir is determined to get to the bottom of it, and he's convinced that it's Jessica. And even Duncan thinks that Jessica might be the traitor. And later on, this feeds into why Gurney ultimately thinks it must have been Jessica, which we'll see if that comes up at all in the second movie. But just really, I think Mentats were done a disservice with the movie. In the Lynch movie, you really get a bigger sense of what the Mentats are doing in that movie. Brad Dourif as Piter, very much involved in the Baron's plans. In fact, he tries to characterize it as his plan, which the Baron does not appreciate. And even Thufir has a little bit more going on in the Lynch movie. In the miniseries, they did okay. They decided that the Harkonnen were not going to capture Thufir in the miniseries, so he didn't really have a whole lot going on. Piter maybe slightly better, but not that much. So certainly the miniseries was nothing to write home about in terms of the Mentat. The sequel, the Children of Dune miniseries, does a much better job because the Duncan Idaho Gola is presented as a Mentat, and they refer to his Mentat capabilities a number of times. So they did a much better job with that. It remains to be seen how they will leverage Thufir in the second Villeneuve movie. In the Lynch movie, they show that they captured Thufir and they strapped him up to his residual poison with the milk and the mouse, and the cat. And without really explaining that, I remember the people that I saw that with were like, what in the hell was going on there? And it wasn't super clear. But we'll see if that is in there. There's certainly, once Thufir is on Giedi Prime, he is definitely still scheming. In fact, he plots with Fade to try to take out the Baron. And I really hope that they leave that in, but I don't know. Something tells me that we're really not going to get that. It's not going to be much more than what kind of treatment Thufir got in the Lynch movie is my fear. So we'll see. We'll see if they ratchet that up at all and show Fade's ambitions. And but yeah. So let me know your thoughts in there. How did you feel the Mentats were treated in the latest Dune film? We know that they filmed a few other scenes that they just didn't include that involved Piter and possibly Thufir as well, that might have given them a chance to really explore what it means to be a Mentat. I would love to see that. I'd love to see it reincorporated in. I think there's a lot of depth and character development that was cut out in the interest of time, which is never my favorite reason for excising important segments of a story. But what are you going to do? I guess hope that Legendary demands an extended Dune. They've got to know it's going to make money. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yes, tell me your thoughts about Mentats in Dune in the comments. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.